Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this MSI GE75 Raider. This is a 10SFS-018US BB71075R32G1T0DX10MA. Super long model number up here. The main one is GE75. What we're going to be doing is we're fixing the charge port because the customer said it's getting pushed out, like it's not plugging in or staying in. So let me show you what I mean. So we have the charger here, okay, and when we plug this in, you can see it kind of just pops back out, okay. So there we go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this apart. Most likely the mount that holds the charge port in place is broken and it's just getting shoved in. We're going to use hot glue or something to push that charge port out and keep it pushed out. So we're going to be using a JIS-1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. Alright, you want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. Okay, this model, I've worked on one of these before. I don't know if it's the same exact one, but because of that and the customer's waiting for their computer, this is just going to skip straight to repairing the charge port. Okay, so I already have the hot glue gun heating up. All right, we're just going to remove all these screws. And again, keep all of the screws in order. The two screws at the very back are shorter than the two slightly below them. Okay, then we got one underneath this factory seal. The customer had already had this torn open. All right, we got one going to the middle here. There's a battery reset button in this little hole here. You can press that with a needle or a folded out paper clip. Okay, so we're gonna get all of these out. If for some reason your computer is having issues turning on, powering up, you can try pressing and holding that button for about 15 seconds. All right, you'll actually feel it click when you push on it. But yeah, other than that, let's get all these screws out and then pop the cover off. Okay, it's a lot of screws. We got 4 more down here. I believe I got all the rest already. And then we're gonna work on popping it all apart. Okay, and hopefully it's the thing that I think it is. Pretty sure, hopefully it didn't damage the cables inside, because as long as those are okay, then we should be able to power it up once we hold that thing back into place. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead now and pop the cover off. So now that we got all the screws out, we're going to carefully open this up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my fingernails in the gap here, and I'm going to push on the palm rest, not on the trackpad, okay, only on the palm rest areas around it. So I'm going to get my fingernails in there and push on this. If it doesn't go that way, we're going to have to go the other way. Yeah, looks like we're going to have to turn it around, and we'll push from the back. Okay, so get your fingernails or pry tools in the gap there, and let's see if we can pop it out this way. Okay, these clips are super strong, so it's probably going to be very tough to get this cover off. Let me see, I need to move the charger out of my way here. Let's see if we can figure this out because these clips are super strong. All right, it looks like these headphone jacks stick out over here and the USB-C port, so you actually don't want to lift from this side. We're going to lift from the other side, and then we have to actually swing the cover open. All right, so let's go ahead and see. These cover clips are super strong. Wow, we're probably going to end up having to use some tool to get in here, but let's see. Oh, there we go, we got it going. Okay, at least a little bit. Okay, let's see, since we got that started, let's see if we can continue working our way over, and yeah, we can. All right, so there we go. Once you get it started, it's a lot easier, okay? And we're just going to continue working our way over here, work our way up the sides, okay, just like this. I'm basically using my fingernails and pushing with my thumb to kind of undo the clips like that, okay? All right, and just continue. Be careful with these areas where there's the little skip with the covers. You don't want to end up breaking those, okay? And this part's kind of fragile. The customer actually broke this piece here, okay? But we're going to keep working our way over. And then we're going to go around. Again, you don't want to try and pry up the side with the headphone jacks. So we're going to go over to this side now. Okay, and here you can see it pops up here, and then we're gonna work our way to the back here. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop this out if we can. Wow, these clips are strong. Come on. Okay. I don't know if there's any hidden screws. I haven't done this model in a while, so I'm not 100% sure. Let me see here. No, I'm pretty sure it just pops out from there. It's just being difficult. I might have to kind of pop it out a little bit along the sides here and then work our way to the back. Just again, don't pull up too high. So let's see if we can pop these out or if it's completely stuck. Okay. All right, so we're going to continue working our way down over the side here. And then we'll get to this side. Okay, and see if we can pop that up. Okay, so maybe we can actually pull this plastic outwards so that it goes past the headphone jacks. Yes, we can. So there we go. Now that we've pulled it out, of course, you do have to pull this outwards. I don't know if you can see. The plastic kind of flexes outwards like that to get around this. Otherwise, you'll end up pulling the motherboard up and damaging it. Let's see if we can lift the whole thing now or if it's still going to be an issue. Oh, I think some of the clips went back down. So make sure those go back up. Yeah, it's still going to be an issue with the back here. So the back, we're just going to have to keep prying, it seems. I can actually see the clips in there inside. So you can actually see how they're grabbing. So it looks like we have to kind of pull that stuff outwards if we can. Okay, let's see, can I get in there and pull it out? Wow, this is gonna be tough. Come on, let go. Yeah, these clips are super strong. Okay, let me try if we now lift this whole thing up, and then if we can somehow push it over this way to try and help it get over those clips. It doesn't seem to be working. Wow, this is super tough. I don't remember how I got this out the last time. I might have to watch my old video because I'm pretty sure I struggled on that last time too. There we go. Okay, it does just take a lot more force. Okay, so now we got that. Let's see if we can lift this up a bit. It's still caught on something here. On this corner. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now we got that up. And there we go. Alright, these clips on the back were the hardest part to remove. Alright, and there we go. We got the bottom off. You can see the RAM, everything. Maybe I'll just go quickly over the internal components, but let me show you here. So here you can see the charge port. Okay, let's throw that junk away. You can see the charge port, how it's like bending in like that. Okay, and there was this plastic thing that was helping hold it in place, it looks like, but that's broken off, and that's why it's getting shoved in there. So what we need to do is we need to fill this area with hot glue to prevent it from pushing in. And then that way the charger, if I can show you here, that way the charger can actually plug in. So if you hold the charger in place, then we can plug this in, and as you can see, it's holding just fine. Alright, so basically that's what we need it to do, is to hold in place. So we're going to fill this gap with hot glue. Okay, so I got the hot glue gun that's been warming up. Alright, and let's go ahead, and now I'm going to pull on this charger to hold it further out. Alright, and then we're just going to fill this area here. Okay, and the reason I use hot glue is because hot glue can be taken out easily. It doesn't stick too strong. You could always end up pulling it back out. So it's not really going to get stuck there, and it's not a permanent thing. Okay. Probably should have used it on the colder setting because it's going to take a while to cool down now. But there we go. So I'll fill that gap up. Okay. main thing is we just want to fill this little pocket here. Okay, so we're filling that pocket back there so that way when we push on the charger, it will actually have something to push against and it won't just get stuck there. Okay, so we're going to add some more. And basically that way it will push against the fan and the heatsink area. Okay, we'll let it cool a bit again, and then we'll add some more. Okay, let's add some more right there. All right, you can also add it to where the wires are here. So that way it won't move around. Okay, basically making this into a solid piece. Okay, and you don't have to worry, the heat sinks don't get hot enough to melt the hot glue. If it does, your computer's probably overheated and gonna explode. So yeah, so you don't really need to worry about that. Okay, double check here, make sure we got everything. Yeah. Okay, so we should be good. We just need to let this stuff cool. Okay, it does take quite a while. You can see this is kind of wobbly a little bit, so we want this to be completely firm to where it's not moving around. Might take a while for it to cool down enough to do that, but there we go. We'll add some more. All right, just build it up. Let it cool down and continue this process until the area is solid and doesn't move around. Okay. All right, let's tilt it up this way. It's gonna take a while because we're adding so much, so keep that in mind. All right. I'm going to tilt this up here like this. That way, when we put the glue, it just stays and fills that area. Okay, so we're going to put some more here. All right, and fill this gap there. Right, so that should be plenty now. We just need to wait for it to harden enough. Okay. Once it's cold enough, you can kind of touch it. Ooh, it's pretty hot still, but go. Piece of it kind of fell off, flaked off. Okay. So the main thing now is letting it cool down. I have this air blower I'll use to kind of help speed it up. Okay. And then we're basically going to have to let it completely set. So I can unplug this right now. As you can see, the charge port is staying, oops. As you can see now, the charge port's staying in place, all right? But as it completely sets, then it will solidify and we should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and go over the other components while we wait for that to cool down, because why not? It's gonna take a while. All right. The charge port is replaceable if you need. It unplugs here. You can just kind of wiggle and pull it up. But to remove that, you are going to also have to undo the hinge screws, lift the hinge up, and then pull that out. All right, you got the two USB ports and the SD card slot here connected with the cable here. Underneath the tape, there's this connector here. I'm not going to take it out, but there's a little latch that you flip it up and then you can pull that cable out. Connects to the motherboard here. You got a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive here, 2 screws holding it in place, and it looks like this bracket is held underneath the hard drive. So underneath the hard drive there's two screw mount holes, so basically like this, there's two holes underneath. The hard drive is like that, flipped over. Okay, wireless card is here. Model number AX201NGW if you need that. I don't know if you can even read that, it's right up there. Okay, CPU and GPU are soldered to the motherboard. GPU's here, CPU's over here. All right, again, they're soldered, so you can't upgrade them or replace them. You have 2 sticks of RAM. Let me zoom in here. Okay, we're gonna pop these 2 out. Then you can go ahead and look at this. This is a 16 gig PC4 2666V. So you can put any PC4 2666V RAM in here. All right, I don't know if they have 32 gig sticks, but yeah, basically that's already 32 gigs total. All right, looks like there's 2 M.2 slots here. This one says PCIe 3.0 X4 SSD. So this is a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. I'm going to assume that this is also, I mean, obviously it's a PCIe NVMe SSD, but let's see underneath if it has a label. Oh, they got the thermal pad there, so it's holding it down. It's stuck down to a thermal pad. I don't want to peel it up, so I'm going to leave that there. Speaker connector is down here and connects both speakers, so they connect to this speaker, and then there's a wire running across the middle here to the other speakers here. All right, you got the BIOS, CMOS, RTC real-time clock battery here, and you can actually see the connector from here. So if you wanted, you could probably unplug it from there. It'll be a little difficult. You'll probably have to remove the speakers to make it easier. But yeah, other than that, yeah, okay. You got the keyboard connector here. It's connecting underneath the motherboard. So to remove that keyboard connector, you are going to have to lift the keyboard, the motherboard out, it looks like. Trackpad cable, it looks like this one's the touchpad or trackpad cable. Then there's the other cable going here underneath, probably to here for the touchpad buttons, okay, over here. And then, of course, you have the fan connector here. You got the LCD LVDS connector here. You don't want to mess with this unless you disconnect the battery or remove the battery first and then press and hold the power button. The battery is right here. There's one screw holding it down. Let me actually show you this. Okay, if you're going to mess with the LCD LVDS connector, it's important that you take the battery out just like this. You rotate it up and then open the laptop, press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. All right. Battery model, if there is one, here you go. BTY, oh, it's blurry, come on, focus. BTY-M6H, so that's the battery, okay? We're gonna go ahead and put this back into place. Just line it back up, rotate it back down, click that down. All right, pinch that together so it has a nice solid fit, and then get the screw back in. All right, I think that's about it to explain here. There's the other fan connector right under here. But yeah, other than that, I'm not going to go any further. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. We are going to put this back together. This fan is a little dusty, so I'm going to clean it up actually a little bit. Okay. There we go. Let's kind of blow this thing out. Yeah, there's a lot of dust in there. Let me take this outside. I'm going to clean it out extra good with my electric blower, and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back. So we cleaned out this fan, and I think let's go ahead and reassemble it. Plug it in, make sure it charges, and we should be good to go. Okay, so we'll put this back here, line it up for a good thumbnail. Okay, and then we just got to get this back on. Again, you want to be careful with the ports here because the plastic does kind of, they stick out into the plastic. So we're going to try and line those up and get those in first. Okay, so we're putting it at an angle like this. Make sure those ports do go in first. Let me see if I can show this. I'm going to line it up this way and see if I can do it. Okay, there we go. You can see the headphone jacks and stuff are back into place. And now we should be able to just snap everything back down, click everything back into place. Okay, make sure to check back here, make sure everything looks good, lined up. These are not lining up quite right, so make sure to get them in. There we go. Get these lined up, click those in. All right, looks good. Looks good. Okay, click all of that in. Got the front. All right, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and get all the screws in. Well, actually, let's go ahead and plug this in to make sure it's charging first. So we have the charger right here. Plug this. Okay. That to plug it in. All right. So I've got the charger plugged in. Let's go ahead now and plug this. Right now, as you can see, there's no lights here. Let's cross our fingers, plug it in, and there you go. The light just randomly turned on. I don't know why it took so long, but let's unplug this again, make sure. Light turned off, plug it back in, light turned on. Okay, so there you can see it's working. We'll unplug it again, lights off, plug it in, lights on. Okay, so we should be good to go. I'm gonna let this charge for a bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and put all the screws back in. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, again, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, again, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You're welcome to stay as I get all these screws back in. But yeah, not much else to it. Alright, let's get all of these back. Few. Last 4 down here. Of course, we're going to power it up, make sure it turns on. I don't see why it wouldn't. We didn't really change anything. Though I should have checked beforehand if it turned on. But yeah, alright. Get all these screws back in. Didn't really change anything or take anything out except the RAM, so sometimes the RAM might have some issues, so let's make sure that it's working okay. Alright, let's flip this thing back over, open it up, and we'll press the power button here. I hear the sound, and there you go. So should be good to go. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright, let's drop this. Bye.